bill to site not showing in the receivables invoice. So basically I have created a brand new customer which includes the party setup, the customer account setup, and the customer site and associated addresses setups. And then I thought it's a good idea to test my setup by quickly creating a receivables invoice. So I started creating the invoice, gave the header information, but when I tried to search for the customer under bill to site, it's not showing, whereas the ship to site is coming. So I was scratching my head as to what's going on, and I possibly found a way to resolve this issue. So I would like to share that issue with you and its associated resolution in this particular video. At the same time, I also want to share a related issue which is unable to add reference account for business unit under customer. So this is a specific issue pertaining to bill to customer, wherein when I've gone and checked the customer account, I saw that under bill to I was unable to add the reference GL accounting combinations out there, such as unearned revenue or revenue accounting details, and I think that's the root cause of the issue, which is linked to the bill to site. So let's go into Oracle Fusion Cloud and address this issue. So I'm going to go back there. Alright, so first I'm going to quickly show you my customer definition. So I started defining something like Mango Corporation. And as you could see, here is the customer registry ID, and then I've defined the customer account and associated site details over here. So I'm going to quickly jump onto the site, and at the site, as you could see, there are two sites. One is a bill to site and second is a ship to. Both are primary sites, and the ship to site is having this first one attached as bill to site. Okay. Now, as you could see, under bill to site, this particular area is empty. I couldn't see anything at all. And when I try to add this information, create reference account in bill to level, I'm unable to do that. And I think that's the root cause of this issue, wherein I'm unable to enter an invoice, particularly the bill to customer details under the invoice, because these details, the reference account details, are empty. Ideally here I should have added the corresponding business unit and ledger under which I was trying to create the invoice. So unless and until that is there in place, you will not be able to select the bill to customer information at the invoice level. So let's quickly go to the invoice level, and I'm going to show you the second issue there. So first issue is I'm unable to add the reference account information at the bill to level out here. You see the business unit is not showing at all. So I'm going to cancel that, and I'm going to come out of this customer definition, and I'm going to quickly jump on to the invoice create form. So I'm going to go to the task manager and then go to create transaction. And from here, you see, I'm going to select a business unit. So in my case, it is US1 business unit, and the transaction source and type will default automatically as manual and type as invoice respectively. I'm going to give a transaction number, let's say something like this. Okay, and I'm going to leave rest of the details, and I'm going to quickly jump onto the bill to customer name. And here you see, I will come to the search form, and I'm going to search with my customer name. You see, nothing is coming up. It's not coming up at all. Whereas when I go to ship to customer and do the same thing, it is showing me the details there. You see, this I'm able to select, whereas bill to is not coming. So the issue is incomplete setup in bill to. That is point number one. And that's the root cause of this issue. So we have to address this issue, that why we are unable to add the reference accounts. So I'm going to go back to the customer definition now, and let's try to fix this issue. So I'm going to cancel this first. I will come out of this invoice creation form. Then I'm going to go back to manage customers and pull out our customer definition. So our customer started with Mango Corporation. Okay, I'm going to come here. The first thing I'm going to see here is the sites, and under sites, as you could see, you've got to notice something. You've got address purposes as build to site, build to and ship to, right? And what I wanted to show you was, you see two things. You see, you've got something called as account address set. So basically this account address set has to be the same as what is attached at the business unit level. So here it's got a code of US1 BU set. This is what I chose, assuming that this is the same one attached to my business unit definition. But I guess this is not the same thing at the business unit. For customer account side, there is a different address set that is assigned. So we'll go to the business unit definition to compare what we have it over here versus what is attached at the business unit level. So account address set at the customer account site level as US1 BU set. This is the code, and if you cancel this, you can see the description of this or I would say the name of this particular address set as US1 space BU space set. Okay, now what I have to do here is I have to go and I will show you the business unit definition. So I have to go to setup and maintenance like this from here. Then I will choose from here financials, and within financials I would say manage business unit. I will search by this task, and you see you have to pull up this task, manage business unit set assignment. So click on this hyperlink and choose the scope as a US1 business unit. That's the business unit I've been working on. But if you've got a different business unit, make sure you pull that particular business unit as the scope. And then I'm going to click on this task, manage business unit set assignment, and the business unit is already chosen. But if it's a different business unit, you can always select it from the list of values, and then after you selected it, then hit the apply and go to task button. And now I will look for the customer site. As you could see over here, customer account site, you've got a set as customer site set. It's not the one that I have attached at the site level. So there is a difference, and that's the precise reason why we are unable to add the reference account information out there. You see, that's what it refers to, reference data set code and reference data set name. So they've got to be same for you to define the information. So whatever is at the business unit level, the same reference data set has to be at the site level. So here what I have to do is I've got to cancel it now, and I will go back to the customer definition. So I'm going to go from here, and then I will go under receivables and then billing, and then I will go here to manage customers, and then I will choose the organization name as Mango. Hit the search button. Okay, then come down, and you see here I don't think there is a way to update the address set, right? Let's see. You see there is a way to create a new site, but I don't think I can update this particular address set, and I don't find an edit button over here at all. So basically it means that I may have to probably create a new account site for build to. Okay, so we can do that. I'm going to go here, and I would say add a new site like this. Okay, and that's where it gives you an option to choose the account address set. So I'm going to simply paste the one that we had it from the business unit level. You can always select it like this from here, right? Or you can search it like this. Let's say in the name, I believe it should be in the name. Okay, that's the one you've got to select. Okay, and then you hit the OK button, and it's got a code of cust account site, whereas the name is customer site set and the description is also customer site set. Okay, so make sure you select this, and then you give your site name, say something like Mango Corporation Primary. Okay, then I will come down. I'm going to give some address over here. Okay, I've just given address line 1, then the city, and from city the information such as the state and county would be defaulted automatically. Enter a postal code here. Okay, I've just added, and leave the sales tax inside sales limit as it is, and then you see I'm going to add the address purpose as bill to. Okay, and then I'm going to add one more address to this one, which is I'm going to select as ship to. Okay, and here I'm going to choose the bill to site as the one I have just defined, this one. Okay, and then I'm going to designate this particular one as my primary bill to site. Okay, so now this is the primary bill to site, and you can also designate this one as the primary ship to site if you like, but I'm going to leave it. Okay, and once you're done with this, then I'm going to hit the save and close button. And now I'm going to come down, and you see that the account address set are now different. This was previously US1 BU set, and now this one is customer account set. Now if you open this one, you will have two purposes as bill to and ship to. Okay, now I'm going to save and close this one. You see, you've got to give payment details as well. If you like, you can quickly give the receipt method. So I'm going to say this is primary, choose a receipt method, let's say this one, and bank account. If you want, you can choose an existing bank account, let's say this one. Okay, and I will leave it, and I'm going to save this now. Okay, and now you see another thing that I have to do is I have to go back to the site level and check at the bill to level whether I am able to give the additional information. Okay, so you see I clicked on bill to, and then I click on this plus button, and now you see I'm able to select the business unit. Earlier it wasn't coming, so if you want, you can check back again, cancel this, come out and go back to the previous bill to site which was associated with a different account address set in comparison to the business unit definition and the address set associated under business unit definition. So click on this one and try it out once again. Go to bill to this one and click on this plus icon, and you see nothing is coming up now here in this particular bill to. Okay, so now you got the hang of it. So basically the address set, the account address set has to be the same one as defined at your business unit level. So I'm going to go back to the newly defined site and I'm going to open it. Okay, and then I will navigate to the bill to address purpose, and within that I'm going to click on this plus icon. I'm going to choose the business unit as US1 business unit. Which is over here. Hit the OK button, and then it's associated with US primary ledger, so the ledger got defaulted automatically. I'm going to give the revenue and unbilled or unearned revenue accounting information. Okay, so I've just added the revenue account combination and unearned revenue accounting combination. Then I will hit the OK button. Okay, and at this time I'm going to save this record, say save and close. Or you can go back and define other information if you like, because this is a new one. Let's say profile history. We can quickly create a new profile here. Okay, and look, if you want to give some additional information, so I'm going to change this one to immediate payment terms. Okay, save and close. Okay, and again I'm gonna save and close it. Okay, now there are lots more information that goes into the site, but just for a quick demonstration I have just added the bare minimum information out there, and to show you how the issue gets fixed, the one I have shown you previously, I'm gonna go back and create a transaction of invoice type. Okay, and give a transaction number. And leave all the details defaulted, and then you choose the bill to customer, and this time hopefully it should come up. So I'll go to bill to, and I'm going to search our customer like this. You see, now the bill to has come up, right? And that's exactly what we have defined, and wherein we have defined the additional reference accounting as well. Previously we couldn't define them. Now we define, and after the reference accounts have been defined and attached to the bill to site purpose, it could able to come here. And if you feel like, you can always change if you have multiple sites, and then you can go and add other information as you like. So say something like RAM 16 GB. Just for completeness purposes, I'm showing the whole of the invoice process. And then I'm going to save this transaction. So transaction number will be generated. You see, a lot of setups in your invoice is also driven by your customer setup and your core receivables module setups. So as you could see, the account number just got generated, the transaction number invoice 52765. Fine, and as this time you can go further and do your rest of the other information. You see, you can for example, you can simply complete and review this invoice. See, the present status is incomplete, and if you complete it, it's going to do certain validations in the background and complete it. You see the status now changed to complete. So basically this is the way in which you fix the issue pertaining to bill to site not showing up at the invoice level.